Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Quick History. Today we're going to take a look at the Kiel Mutiny and the events surrounding the end of the war on the 11th of November 1918. As always, there's a free handout in the description below, and make sure you click on subscribe if you'd like to see more GCSE history based revision content. Let's get into the details. As we've seen in previous videos, by September 1918 the Germans were close to collapse. The people on the home front were having to survive on turnip and bread in the turnip winter, and thousands of people were dying of starvation. On the battlefield, the Germans were not doing much better. The Allies' 100 Days Offensive had broken through the Hindenburg Line, and Germany was being pushed back towards its borders. On the 29th of September 1918, Ludendorff, the designer of the Ludendorff Offensive aimed to win the war earlier in the year, had now declared that the war should be abandoned and that the cause was hopeless. The Kaiser allowed some political parties to take some of his powers and give them to the German parliament. However, it was clear that by the end of 1918 that the German people were ready to see the back of the Kaiser and an end to the war. On the 28th of October 1918, the German Navy in Kiel committed mutiny and refused to follow orders. The German High Command had given the Navy at Kiel clear instructions to sail out into the North Sea, attack the British ships there, and to try and break the naval blockade. The German sailors at Kiel refused to follow the order and committed mutiny. They said that they would follow no further orders and that the war should be brought to an end. News of the mutiny began to spread, and workers in nearby towns went on strike. The Kaiser, sensing that he was losing control, sent in the army to try to deal with the situation, but the army took the side of the workers and the sailors and refused to follow orders as well. This was made even worse as workers' councils were set up to run towns independently from the Kaiser in some of Germany's biggest cities. Hamburg, Frankfurt, Cologne, Munich and Berlin all began to be taken over by workers' councils. The Kaiser was being ignored in some of his largest towns, and it was clear that he'd lost control. The army generals refused to support him, and on the 9th of November 1918, the Kaiser left Germany for good and ran away to the Netherlands. Friedrich Ebert, the leader of the Social Democratic Party in Germany, became the interim leader of Germany until fresh elections could be held. He immediately sought peace with the Allies. However, the Allies were in no mood to show leniency towards the new German government. The Allies' terms for peace were tremendously harsh. They demanded that after an armistice was signed, all fighting should end within 6 hours. They demanded that Germany evacuate land in Alsace-Lorraine, in Austria-Hungary, in Turkey, in Romania, in Belgium and Luxembourg within 15 days. The Allies demanded that Germany hand over 24 naval ships, including battleships, cruisers, dreadnoughts and submarines, and give access to the Allies to the German railway network and their trains. The Allies also insisted that the naval blockade would continue and that Germany would have to pay some financial penalty for the war coming to an end. The Germans were distraught at the terms presented by Foch and the Allies, but were in no position to reject them. At 5:10 a.m. on the morning of the 11th of November 1918, the armistice was signed. And at 11 a.m. on the morning of the 11th of November, the war came to an end. Thank you for joining me on this course for Conflict in Tension, looking at the First World War. I hope you'll take a look at some of the other videos on offer. We've got some videos on Nazi Germany, medicine and health through time, and we're going to continue adding videos over the course of the year. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in another series soon.